Right, Brown Advisory.
Yeah,
We're going to get in straight. Novice Chase. Quarter d'Oti Final Demand. Who's got a big opinion on this while Rich gets another bottle in?
Right, so Turners.
Sorry, yeah, Turners. Go straight into the Turners. Okay, so Act of Innocence, Rich's horses in there, Mighty Barker, lots of the similar ones. Let's rattle through this one. Let's leave Rich out of this. Who fancies something in the Turners?
No idea what runs yet.
Okay,
So
well,
I do.
drama this
I'll
end.
go. Yeah, no drama this end. He did incredibly well.
Challow form's looking good now.
Yeah, so the Challow is famously a race where you can't, the form doesn't work out. But this horse came into the Challow off the back of winning its Grade 2 at Sandown. It was fairly quick, okay? I believe that Paul ran it in this race, honestly, because he wanted to win a Grade 1. And he's the most competitive bugger you'll meet in England. And I do honestly think he did that for a reason. I think this horse did very well to win that. So that's him. Talk the Talk, I think, will go here. And if he doesn't go to the Supreme, then...
No, he is going to the Supreme.
Definitely.
Oh, Joseph wants to run him in.
Fine. King Rasco, Grey Ballyfat. Act of Innocence is a good horse. One as he liked in the Sydney Banks. Then where are we? Bossman, Jack, Cryptic, Jim, My Horse, Taurus Bay. They're good horses, but they're probably going to struggle to win it.
Well, Taurus Bay actually has a very good piece of horse because he beat Captain Hugo, didn't he?
He did, yeah. Taurus Bay will be lining up, well, I don't know what he'll line up in next year. He'd love to find a 2.5, but I think he's exceptional. But he did a piece of work this morning that told me he will run.
What's that?
I haven't had a build up to the race, which makes me ooze confidence.
Okay.
So
he's going to run slowly.
No, I wouldn't run him unless I thought he could be competitive, but I think he'll struggle to win it.
Okay, any other strong opinion on that before we go on to the Brown Advisory? No. Right, Brown Advisory, Novice Chasers, Final Demand and Co. Again, who has a really, really firm opinion on this? 1.01 has come in. Lydia.
I think the Big Westerner will win it.
Really? Hasn't he promised much before?
It was good to soft ground in the Albert Bartlett last year, and she ran really, really well. How not soft we're thinking it's going to be. It's been raining for 4 years. You know, the water table's going to be really high. A little bit of rain during the course of the week is only going to tip it over slightly. You know, I just don't think that the ground is. I don't think she needs soft or heavy. I think she needs a trip. I think she'll be fine on good to soft. It might be that she's her absolute best on soft, but she ran really well in the Albert Bartlett last year, and it was good to soft.
Okay.
I'm going to run a horse called Joystick, who I was hoping
would get
into National Hunt Chase.
Yeah, absolutely.
And unfortunately, he got a mark of 147, so he's not eligible for that race, so he'll have a spin and poodle around there. He's big, he's slow, he jumps well.
Anything else? Davey, anything solid?
Gordon's horse is rock solid. He won a Galway
Western
Plate.
Fold?
Yeah, he's won a Galway Plate off top weight. We've seen horses win a Galway Plate in the past and go on to finish second or third in the Gold Cup. It's a fair indication of a horse's ability. He's rock solid to me. Look, he may not be top class, but I still think in this race over 3 miles on a little bit better ground, I think is right up his alley.
Okay, and I like the look of Salva. It would help if it rained, but he's very rarely got the soft ground over 3 miles that he wants. He got it at Windsor last time, and his performance with Wade Out puts him very close with Wendigo, but he's a much bigger price than Wendigo, and he's the best in Gary Moore's yard. So if the rain came, it would very much help, but I think he's massively overpriced, Salva. Queen Mother Champion Chase.
So no one thinks Final Demand.
Who?
Yeah, well, he's
the favourite. No one has mentioned him. I don't fancy him, but why not?
Because he came to Cheltenham last year, he was travelling well into the straight, and then he folded within strides. And then the moment that Cade Dorothy put it up to him in the DRF, he folded.
These previews are about telling everyone what to be aware of as much.
Yeah, absolutely, agreed. No, I know you're feeding the question, and so I'm giving the answer.
Yeah, I'm delighted, but like Matt, sharp Matt.
You took that dig about the 4 Cheltenham Festival winners very personally, I'm afraid.
I really like the fact that he got one back. This is going to be fun for the rest of the year. 2-1.
Right, we're going to move on.
Equalised, Ben, equalised.
Still got enough time for you all. Right, Queen Mother Champion Chase. As most of you know, Marine Nationale is out, the defending champion. It means Masborough could well go off odds on now for the Queen Mother Champion Chase. David, can I just ask you a question on this? Do you, if as a jockey, would you believe in Masborough because of what he did last time, or would how he jumped before that always be in the back of your mind?
No, not until he makes a mistake, but you just go on as you left off. The only problem I have with Masborough is when he makes one mistake, he tends to make another and another.
Yeah.
I just think he needed some bit of help. I said it on publicly that there was something amiss with him, and I've never seen cheapies to have that effect on a horse. I just haven't. I just don't know what. I couldn't believe what he'd done in Leopardstown, from where he was to where he went, and if he continues in that vein of form, he is unstoppable. There's no doubt about it, he's unstoppable. He's better than all the horses in the race, I feel, but you must, if he starts reverting back to his old tricks, people say, he can make a mistake and he's still win. He can't. Not in the Queen Mother, I don't care. He made mistakes last year and he couldn't win.
I think if it's not Margeborough, I actually think the cards are falling in Dan Skelton's favour in a few races. No Constitution Hill helps. But Loda Sud had the perfect round in the Arkle last year. He led over the last. Margeborough made mistake after mistake after mistake after mistake. He actually still beat him.
Yeah.
He still got home in front of Loda Sud. So I think Margeborough, I'm not a fan because I don't think he'll jump around this track properly. I really don't. But I think his engine is so big he could still win it.
Okay. Could I just ask anyone, talk about Irish Panther possibly running this.
Yeah.
I know Romeo Coolio is in the Ryanair, but would it be easier for Romeo Coolio in this than the Arkle?
In this?
Yeah. If
Possibly would be, wouldn't it?
No,
you know what
it
I'm
wouldn't.
saying? Like there are.
You don't think it would be?
No.
No, just because it's.
I tell you, the reason with Romeo Coolio is what's wrong with getting beaten? I don't see the problem once you're in a race and you're fairly run. If you get beat, fine. I can't understand. Why would you if you're not going to run him in the Arkle, why would you run him in the Queen Mother?
Well, you might think you got an easier race.
But how would he get an easier race?
Because Lulamba, Kopek de Board might be better than the horses in this race.
Yeah, but
Long term.
put Masborough in the Arkle now, on this season, how far does he beat them?
I don't know. They might be better than him.
I can see both sides, you know.
No, but there's
don't
no-
rush a novice,
it's-
is what Davy's saying.
Like, I know, it just, for me, you keep your own to your own. You know, there's no point in stepping into senior company. What you would do is you would help him to digress if you stepped him up to open company now.
Okay.
That wouldn't be, for me, the progress would be running in the Arkle. If he gets beaten, fine. But it's next year to go for a Gold Cup. Like, you know, people have done it in the past and horses have done it. And there's a horse doing it this year in Django Bai. You know, he won the Arkle last year, now he's running the Gold Cup.
Okay.
So there's an angle here, isn't there, with all these horses falling away, for a horse that's going to pick up the pieces and hit the frame.
Which often happens in this race.
Yeah. The horse that was going to do it last year was Liberty Hunter. Now, obviously, he has a little issue with the fences, doesn't he? He's a massive price at the moment. He could easily hit the frame. He would have hit the frame last year if he hadn't come down and 3 out in the Champion Chase.
Champion Chase, no,
Yeah.
she's right.
And he's also in the Grand Annual, and I couldn't quite interpret how he was being ridden in the Game Spirit. Was he being ridden to get his confidence and get round, or was he ridden with the Grand Annual in mind? I wasn't sure. I feel like if this race cuts up, Evan Williams will be more likely to tend towards this than he would be to carry a lot of weight in the Grand Annual, and he could pick up the pieces. I'm also looking at Only by Night, who I think is a 2-miler. I know she's in the Mrs. Paddy Power. She hit the front and then I think threw the race away, the way that the race panned out in the Arkle last year. And if she was ridden slightly differently, I could see her hitting the frame. This is a thought I'm having live, by the way. Not one that I've thought through. So those two, I think there's going to be an angle in this race because you've got Loda Sud, who just isn't as just isn't as good as Masborough. Iolete Tom, who's got a Cheltenham problem. He might get round in third, but second maybe he will. Calixtos we haven't seen for the year. He was clear second best in the Queen Mother Champion Chase last year, so maybe. John Bond's not going to run. Thislas is going to go out right. Sonis is going to go out right.
Thislas
Irish
doesn't
Panther's
run.
going to be burned off, is he? Doesn't
No,
it?
no,
Right,
it
okay.
does not run.
So, do you see what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
There's going to be something that's a very big price, and particularly if Mashborough does go odds on, they're going to have a betting without market as well. So there's
angles in.
This race is interesting if you're into that kind of thing.
Yeah, there's plenty of angles in. I also think we see why we made a big mistake going for Nick Luck first. Clearly we have upgraded. Okay,
First
let's
time
just
anyone's
quickly go
ever
down
said
the
that.
panel. Just the name of the horse. The Ricci winner of the Queen Mother Champion Chase is?
I would take Marlborough on because his enemy is the twigs, not the other horses. I'm with Ben.
Okay, Lydia?
I've tipped Mashborough, backed Mashborough at 6-1 when he drifted. I think he's the likeliest win in the race. I will be looking at something that I've just outlined there.
Yeah.
That will be what I'm looking at.
Okay, Ben Pauling.
I'm going to say Marlborough, and I hate the way he jumps.
Yeah.
Same as Ben.
Yeah, and I'm Madgeborough as well. Right, let's get straight to the bumper, where a certain Ricci has a horse called Love Seen du Nu. Rich, are you going to win the bumper? How hopeful?
That would be Love Sign de Nu.
Yeah.
Although I liked your French interpretation. Love Scene de Nu. Very interesting. So
He's even wearing your colours. Look, he's
I
a
know
fan.
it's great. He's got a hood. He's got a
Tough
onesie
team to
as
be
well.
in, this one.
So I'll tell you, the bumper is look. I've won the bumper once with the Champagne Fever. It's a very difficult race to win. The horses won a point to point, and he won his bumper, albeit he won it well. Before the race, Willie Mullins sent me a text saying, "Now," he said, "this fella he hasn't caught my eye, in the work." And I said, "Ugh." So I wasn't. He was like 4-9. I wasn't expecting much. And then, as he was pulling farther away during the race, he sent me another text saying, "He's catching my eye now." He is a look. He's a horse for next year. He's a high cruising speed. That was a hell of a performance. It was a good bumper. Look, he's got a favourite's chance, but it's the bumper. Anything can happen. I've had horses come over as well. When I heard Patrick mention when they were talking about you're going to ride Love Sign de Nu, and what do you think? He's I've ridden Day of a Lifetime. I've ridden some other thing that I owned that Cheltenham blew the top off their heads. So we hope that doesn't happen, but he's got a favourite's chance.
Okay. Anyone else spotted a bumper horse that takes their eye? I mean, you only have to see the number of times Patrick Mullins wins this race to know that Willie Mullins doesn't know really which one of his is ever the best, does he?
But Patrick may end up having to ride the horse because he can't do the weight on any of the other ones. So just keep that in mind as you're punting. Can't do the weight on our trigger.
No one knows who's going to win the bumper because Cheltenham is so different to every other
It
track
is
they've
100%.
run on.
Yeah.
So you can have a good horse at home, works really well, gets to the top of the hill, you think you're in a great chance. By the time you're at the bottom of the hill, not only have you lost 10 lengths, but you've got nothing to come up the hill.
Well,
it's impossible.
Yeah, this horse doesn't work very well, but he does it on the track.
So it might be okay.
Yeah.
David, you are a wheeler dealer, though. You know all the ins and outs of how to make a few quid. Are there any of these that were on your radar ever?
Not particularly. I just like Queeran, the Scottish horse. I like the Mourne Rambler, and I like the top horse of Chris Gordon's Bass Hunter.
Okay. I think he's a bit nutty base hunter, though, isn't he? He's a bit. I'm
The
not sure
horse
a
or
nutty
Chris?
horse. Chris Gordon's base
Both.
hunter won at Ascot.
That's why he loves him so much.
He is a bit nutty. What was that?
The horse or Chris, I was asking.
Yeah.
I was seeking clarification.
He's a bit. I don't know whether you can tear off in front and win this and hope to stay there. Can you? Something's going to pick you up.
You would think so.
But never mind. He might be a bit more controlled. Right. Let's go on to. We've made it to Thursday. Let me just make sure I start with the right race here. We're going to start with the Close Brothers Mares Hurdle, and of course,
Awkward.
that means we get back to Rich. Except you've already run, haven't you, Rich?
Well, it's a great race. It's a much better race, and I know that some people are quibbling out making it a Grade 2 or making it a cap. Either we have a championship race for mares or not. I don't mind moving it to another date, but there should be a championship race for mares, 100%, because we want to keep mares in the game.
Definitely.
If we run or don't run, who knows? But it's a good race. It's a very competitive race this year. And I think Woodhoo is going to be hard to beat, whether Lost Your Mouth runs in the champion hurdle or there.
But she would have no headgear. You're not Headgear's not going on willy-nilly, is it? No headgear in this.
We haven't decided on headgear. We are considering options.
Cheek pieces in the champion hurdle or no headgear here. That's clearly what's going on.
Yeah.
She's never won over 2.5 miles on that track. The
Yeah,
new
but
course.
she doesn't lack stamina though, does she?
No, she's a 2.5 miler. Aintree's tailor-made for her.
If,
She'll run at Cheltenham, but the Aintree's tailor-made for her, yeah.
if Lossie goes to the champion, then Jade de Grugy comes in here.
Yeah. I mean, Rich, just final thing on that. I just want one more question. It does sound like, if you're saying genuinely that you think the Aintree hurdle's her ultimate goal, you think she's a 2.5 miler, it seems, even if you want, like everyone else, to win the champion hurdle, it seems very silly to run her in the champion hurdle.
But you know, she obviously can run over 2 miles. Whether she's won over 2 miles at Cheltenham. So, look, it's a different race course. She is a bit of an in-betweener, and I just want her to win and be healthy and do all right. And last year, I was very clear. I wanted to run the mare's hurdle. This year, I am ambivalent. And if Willie thinks this is her best chance to win, and that could be the champion hurdle, then that's fine. I'm relaxed.
That's what I think.
Okay, Lydia, for most people, if Lossiemouth and Woodhoo both run in this, one or t'other or one will win it, because they are, on paper, just the better horses. Which one of those two would you go with?
Lossiemouth, but I would expect them to be quite a long way apart in the market. Because I'd expect Lossiemouth to be expected to win, and if they were close together in the market, it would make me. Johnny Deneen made this point the other day. It would make me feel nervous. It was interesting because I like these sort of panel shows because you hear somebody say something and you think, yeah, that is absolutely right. So his hypothesis was that if Lossiemouth and Woodhoo both turn up in the mares and they're pretty much, fighting it out for favourite, that means that there's uneasiness around Lossiemouth and that you should be backing Woodhoo.
But are we just forgetting the fact that Lossiemouth absolutely whipped Woodhoo in the
Did
entry
she
hurdle?
absolutely whip her? I'm not
No.
sure she did.
Again, she hung up the straight in Aintree. If you watch that race again,
There's nearly 3 legs.
took her a while to get past.
Woodhoo might have improved since. I think they probably went a bit early, the two of them, because of what was going on with Constitution Hill in behind. So that probably didn't. I think I like Woodhoo. I'm a big fan of hers. I don't think that her Christmas run is representative. I think there was clearly a problem. She was wearing a bandage. There must have been something that some sort of hold up that caused her an issue. I like the way that she finds a way to win, but you could say the same thing about Lossiemouth. But the point is, if Lossiemouth goes to the champion hurdle, then Jade de Grugy steps in, and she's not that far behind either, and she is being overlooked as being a potential player.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anyone else got a final minute so we can move on?
Woodhoo will win this. If the Lossiemouth that ran at Leopardstown goes to Cheltenham, Woodhoo will win.
Agreed.
I agree with that.
That's for you, Rich, not that I've got anything to do with it. I think this might be harder to win than the champion hurdle.
Well, I think Davy makes a good point. She wasn't herself at Leopardstown, and if she shows up in the same way, she won't win either.
No, that's and she.
And it is.
She has put her weight back on, which is a good thing.
Yeah,
She has.
I know the feeling. And the other thing is, you have to accept with Lossiemouth, she comes alight at Cheltenham. I couldn't care less what form she's been in out of the races. She is a different horse. When she hurtles down that hill at Cheltenham, she comes on the bridle, and she absolutely loves Cheltenham. It's just for her. I don't know why. Let's move on to the Paddy Power Stairs hurdle, because I think in lots of ways this is an absolute belter. Lots of possibilities here. You've got the old guard of Tierpoo and Bob Olinger, and then you've got the young pretenders, Honesty Policy, Cabra de Mata, Marchand 2, and the enigma that is Ballyburn. Not to mention Impostoir, who could still go in the Coral Cup. Endo keeps dropping in the Coral Cup every time he mentions this horse. Now, I think he wants to run Impostoir in this race, but he's kind of, I feel, prepared us anyway. If it ended up in the county in the Coral Cup, no one would be that. So it's not the Coral Cup anymore. Whatever the new race is.
BetMGM.
That's it. The BetMGM. Everyone's favourite fund. So right. I'm going to start with Ben Pauling here because this is a good race. I think the Stairs.
It is. I think Tierpoo's an incredibly good horse. I think
Thank you very much.
he looked better than ever last time out to me. And I think he comes in with stronger form than he has done. I don't think Cabral de Matan is my idea of a proper stayer.
Would you fancy him in the champion hurdle?
I don't. I think he's that. I think he's Aintree myself.
Okay.
My fancy is Machantu. Emma Lavelle has done some pretty cool things with some stairs hurdle horses in the last few years. They all come from a pretty humble beginning, and they keep improving and improving and improving. And people say that Impostoir didn't turn up last time out. Maybe Machantu's improving. If he is, then he's going to be one hell of a shout. He's set 6-1. I just think he's got half a chance. But I think Teapu's the one to beat, because I just think he's a stayers hurdle horse through and through.
Okay. And Davy Russell?
I do think that the horse are getting the last year's first and second, or first and second. But I'm talking to the guy that rides Henry's horse every day. Bob Ollinger every day, and he says whatever form he was in last year, he's an equal, if not better, this year. They're absolutely, he's their best chance going to Cheltenham is Bob Ollinger.
Age 11.
It's not for me.
Side of Burley's, wasn't it?
I'm not.
You're only the messenger.
Yeah, but they are. He's ready to rock and roll, and this happens every single year. We forget about Henry de Bromhead. He misses the DRF, and all of a sudden you turn up at Cheltenham and say, "Geez, Henry de Bromhead's some trainer, isn't he? He's 4 or 5 winners." And Bob Ollinger is one of them. I do like Machantu. I do like horses with form on the course, and he's an improver. He's only 7. I don't see it with honesty policy in any line of his form at any stage of his career. He needs to improve dramatically to beat these horses, especially the seasoned horses.
Okay. Anyone else got a strong fancy in the stairs?
So at the moment, I just think Teapu's too short, because I think there are more potential horses lining up to beat him at this point, including Honesty Policy, who I agree with David would have to. Certainly that form with the long work hurdle has been let down. The argument about him is that he's going to improve quite a lot, because he, stepping up to 3 miles in open company for the first time, he showed a huge amount of promise. And so it's kind of built into the price that is what he's going to do. Teapu didn't quite get there. You rode, didn't you? The first time. Are you of the view that the first time that they're kind of pushed into Grade 1 company at 3 miles, it's really tough. It seems to me like it's hard for a young horse to make the jump first time.
Very difficult, but you must remember he had ran in the champion hurdle before I rode him.
Yes.
So there was no excuse. They did change his training regime after that year. He had run in Gorn, and they felt that was too close. It looked like he had a solar around, but he actually empties the tank himself. A race has a huge effect on him.
Right.
It takes him quite a bit of time to get over his races.
Okay.
And you would imagine looking at him, he runs lazily and he's keeping a bit to himself, but he doesn't. He gives you everything. He's very genuine, but he can be quite hard on himself, and he has to be in, like, bouncing. The fresher and the better he is, the better he performs.
Okay.
Huge price. If you could get 4 places or so, Feet of a Dancer for Paul Nolan. Nice horse.
Wow.
Could run a big race.
I think she could run well.
Yeah.
I can't have Ballyburn at any price whatsoever.
I'd slightly disagree with you.
Go on.
For the simple reason is just the profile he fits. Failed chaser. They did feel that he would stay 3 miles by running him in the chase last year. I just think there's something that horse hasn't hit his rhythm since he was a hurdler, and I would give him the benefit. I just wouldn't write him off just yet.
I watched him at Christmas, and he did not want to go out and play at any stage, and apparently he didn't want to go out and play at all in that Hatton's Grace. Now, maybe they've done something to freshen him up.
No, I think that Willie's horses just weren't hitting the numbers.
But I watched him. He wouldn't go out of the pre-parade ring. They had to drag poor old Mystical Power back in, which lost him his race because he started sweating up and frothing. He was prostituted around the paddock to help Ballyburn. You know, that's what he apparently did in the Hatton's Grace as well. He's gone in the head.
Didn't like
It
the
can
way you looked at
happen.
me
It
there.
can
Fair enough,
happen.
I do agree with you about
I was gonna say,
Marchand
It's
though.
midnight and we're on Thursday.
I
You're
know,
doing great,
quite,
Matt.
yeah.
Okay, thank you very much. Doing my best, Rich. If you just said Lossiemouth's going to run in the mares, we could be about.
We could all go
have
home.
finished day 4 by now. Speaking of Lossiemouth, incidentally, our friends at the Tote, there are representatives of the Tote here tonight. Where are they? Well, there are some. Find them because they are boosting Lossiemouth, and it is non-runner, no bet. Now, it's up to you. I mean, we all think if Lossiemouth runs in the mares, she could be a 4 to 7 shot, something like that. They will give you 5 to 4 right now. Non-runner, no bet. Lossiemouth in the mares. If you like her in the champion hurdle, they'll boost her to 4 to 1 from 5 to 2. Non-runner, no bet. So you just back them. If she doesn't go, you're going to win either way as long as she wins something. Also, Old Park Star, they're boosting to 5 to 2 from 7 to 4 for the Supreme. And also, if you do bet in the Supreme with the Tote, money back 2nd, 3rd and 4th in the Supreme as a £10 free bet. So just some offers. It's up to you whether you want to take them, but worth a look.
What price will they give Talk to Talk in the tournament?
That's not a special offer.
Well, make it a special for these people here tonight that have paid their money. I want a boost on Talk to Talk in the turners, which he's not going to run in. Everybody says he's not going to run in, but I want a boost on it for the people
I
here
tell you
tonight.
what, David.
Just for the
Yeah,
people
yeah.
tonight.
I mean, you're playing the audience well. Obviously, I don't control the Tote.
No, I'm not saying to you, but I'm saying for the people in the toes. I'd like an announcement made, please.
Okay, so I will see at half-time whether a Tote representative likes to come up to me and try and boost.
No, just do it. Just boost it. Just.
Well, I can't just
say
say
the word.
Okay, talk
Not
the talk.
you,
20
not
to
you.
1 for the.
Not you. He was 10 to 1
I
2
was
days
not too
ago.
sure.
Yeah, you're right, you're making it, absolutely.
He was 10 to
Yeah.
1 2 days
Yeah.
ago.
Okay.
And he's
I've
not
backed-
running in the race.
I backed Talk the Talk and I'm nervous for the Supreme and I'm nervous that he's
I
not
would be
gonna
nervous
run.
if
Yeah.
I was you. And
Yeah.
if I would be back Talk to Talk on the boost, because he's not going to run. But when they boost him, back him, because it's non-runner, no bet. I think that is. I thought I should have Aegis.
It's now 1 o'clock and we're still on Thursday.
Yeah.
Can I just say?
No, Richard said no.
I'm going to say it anyway.
Our survey said-
I'm going to say it. 4 to 1, Lossiemouth.
For the
Non-runner, no
champion
bet
hurdle.
for the champion hurdle.
In cheek pieces.
She only runs there if she's wearing cheek pieces, obviously.
I didn't say that.
I know you didn't. I was about to say it. Obviously, I'm
You
inferring
did,
that.
Rich. That's what it says on X right now.
I'm inferring that.
Say that.
And so therefore that must mean that they are going to go that way. They're thinking about it. That's the bet.
Only in a world of horse racing could you have a
What
debate
price would she
about
be?
a fella's horse who's sitting down the end
What
between
price,
the rest of us.
What price would she be if she runs?
I'm not good. I'm not a good person to answer that question, but I would have thought she'd be a lot shorter than 4s.
She'd be about 5 to 2, I think.
I'd have thought she'd be second favourite,
Yeah.
wouldn't she?
Yeah,
And I think
right.
that New Line would drift on
She
the
ain't
day.
running the mare's hurdle. I'm telling you.
No.
So,
No, we're here.
There you go. Put that on social media and just cut it to that bit. She's going to run in the mare's hurdle.
she may run in the mare's hurdle.
Oh, you can't change the word now, Rich. Right. You can take centre stage again, though, because we're onto the Ryanair chase. Gaelic Warrior. Are you running Gaelic Warrior? It's a very simple answer because you want to get on to day 4.
We're still on
Is
day 1
Gaelic
then.
Warrior running in the Ryanair or the Gold Cup?
I don't know, but I want to win a Gold Cup.
Yeah, no, he's answered.
No,
Rich
fair.
and Willie Mullins said when he has been interviewed in the last few days, it depends where Rich wants to run. Rich has just said, I want to run in the Gold Cup.
He didn't say that. He didn't say that.
He did.
No, he didn't.
He did. I listened
no.
to it today.
And if he did, he didn't mean it.
No, he didn't say that. Didn't say that. So again, some insight into what happens in horse racing. So what's happening is Paul Townend is desperate for me not to run Gaelic Warrior in the Gold Cup because he wants to ride Gaelic Warrior in the Ryanair so he can ride Gallop at the Champ. Patrick Mullins, who rides his work every day and is Woody's son, is desperate for me to run Gaelic Warrior in the Gold Cup. Willie will have his own view, which is often out of left field at the last minute. Davy will know, he rode for him, this, that, the other. We'll see what happens. I would like to win a Gold Cup. I think he is a Gold Cup horse. I'm not sure what they're going to do with Factor File. The betting says at the moment that he's going to run in the Ryanair. I don't know. Look.
Do you pay the bills, Rich?
You pay the bills, but I'm not there every day. I don't see them work every day. I can't see how they're working against other horses. You rely on your trainer. You employ the best in any walk of life. You all know yourselves who are in business. You employ the best people you can and you trust them. That's what I'm doing. That being said, I'd love to win a Gold Cup.
What do you want, Rich? What do you want?
I'd like to run the Gold
He
Cup.
said he wants the Gold Cup. If Factor File was supplemented, would you expect your horse to be in the Ryanair?
I don't know. Honestly, I'd like to run the Gold Cup.
Willie said that he wants to keep those two apart, hasn't he?
He has, yeah.
But
Now-
he doesn't pay the bills.
If you look at, but yeah, I know, but it's not that simple. You know that. But if you look at Factifile's performance after a 170s run, it's not great. And it's hard for him to put back to back.
I think that's ground related, personally. I don't think it's not being able to string together good performances.
What do you think it is then?
Ground related.
Ground. Okay.
I think it's tactic related.
Do you? Go on.
I think he just loves going forward.
Being positive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I find it hard to see him ridden that way in a Gold Cup. Whereas in a Ryanair, it'd be very simple.
I was disappointed at
Kempton?
Leopardstown. No, in a bit. No, not at Kempton. We ran a great race.
Oh, sorry, I thought you were talking
No,
about
your horse ran a race. Your Gaelic Warrior has been way overlooked for the Gold Cup. If someone tells me that he won't stay the trip, I can't see. He ran so free. He burnt up more oil than any horse in the race, and he still got to the line.
But how about that freeness over an extra 2.5 miles?
That is
furlong, sorry,
that
everyone.
is-
Not 2.5 miles.
Steady on.
We haven't gone into
But
endurance racing.
you're a jockey, so what I noticed was the horse kept jumping to the front, and Patrick was pulling him back.
Yeah.
Would you have cracked on?
Yeah.
It's a difficult thing. It's a difficult thing to translate because in every given moment there are different situations. I don't know the horse, but what I do find with the horse, when he gets into his head that he's going to be free today,
He's gone.
he's going. There is no two ways about that horse. Yeah. And other days he can be like a lamb, and my Lily would ride him off her baby
Aintree.
finger. Yeah. So I don't think he's way overlooked in the World Cup, but we'll get to that.
It's potentially a great Gold Cup anyway. Ben's got great horses.
The way
great
we're
Gold
going,
Cup.
we might not get to it. But
No, it's now 2 o'clock in the morning.
yeah, we'll try. Right, we're going to finish on the Ryanair. I want selections. Obviously, a load of horses may or may not run. Romeo Coolio could yet be in the mix. But if you had to have a bet now, I'm not going to come to you, Rich, because we don't know with you. But
Well,
Lydia,
it's Factor File and Gaelic Warrior are a million miles ahead of the rest of the field. And if they are kept apart, then only one runs, then it's whichever one runs. They're a million miles ahead in terms of quality of the rest of them. The rest of them won't get anywhere near them.
Agreed.
I mean, there's no horse who's a million miles ahead of
I'm
John Bond, is there?
exaggerating for effect, clearly, my dear. Are you a stranger to such things?
Ben?
I think the audience knows the answer to that question.
Honestly, when you're in this kind of mood, Commander, just let you just set the drones off one after the other. Drones. I've got the counter defence going bing, 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 bing. Right, Ben.
For what it's worth, I think Gaelic Warrior will go in the Gold Cup, and I think Factifile will stay in here because I think JP's hand is probably stronger now than he thought it was 3 weeks ago.
Okay, and
In the Gold Cup, that is.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's probably right.
Davey.
I agree with Ben. I think Factifile will go to the Ryanair.
Okay. And I would bet John Bond non-runner no bet because I think he could almost go off favourite for this race eventually. It's not unlikely, and he's basically been over the wrong trip for
You
most
mean
of his
if
races.
both of them exit, both of the other two
Well,
exit
it's
in the
not
race?
impossible. He could go off at least second favourite behind.
No, he
probably
will be
Factifile.
second favourite.
Just finally, because we're just going to take a bit of a breather in a moment. If you think that Gaelic Warrior is going to run in the Gold Cup, can you give me the biggest Ricci roar? So is he going to run in the Gold Cup?
Yes!
On that, we will go for a quick drink. We'll do day 4 and the chit chat after this.